Because you don't know what Fortnite?
Kids aren't old enough.
Fortnite, I tell you what. Okay, they started. Fortnite is a free video game. Okay, so your kids or your boyfriends or girlfriends can go on there and play their Fortnites. And what it is they got these weapons and stuff. And they go around and they're teaching people how to shoot each other, right out of the get-go.
It's Hunger Games video game.
Yeah. Isn't that Hunger Games? That's a whole other. Don't even get me going on that Hunger Games. I mean, it's something else. They have washed our brains with this stuff of how to just go around and create animosity to kill all each other, and hate each other, right? And we just want to sell some cars. But the thing is, with this Fortnite stuff, right? The Fortnite is where they brainwash your kids to where now even in the United States they have rehab centers for kids where you can send them to get them to not want to play Fortnite anymore. It's sickening. It's nuts, right? It makes them absolutely crazy, right? Like my son, he found a way to lock his door. He changed the locks on his door, locked me out of his bedroom. Right? He didn't. But if he thought of that, he probably would have, right? Because they'll just get on it and they don't want to get off, right? I've walked in there, it's been 2 a.m. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And I was like, Dad, I just got the new skin, And I'm like, no, turn it off. Sometimes I'll go over there and I'll just turn it off. Oh, of course. And he's not that bad, really. But, so he ended up getting he made honor roll last trimester, right? But I told him, I says, that's not good enough. I says, if you want to play Fortnite, you need to have straight A's. So otherwise, no Fortnite. I says, so you got till from now, so this was at the start of the trimester, you got from now until break, meaning Christmas break, and it started today. I says, you got from now until then, have straight A's, otherwise you ain't playing Fortnite the whole entire Christmas break, right? So imagine you're a kid and you got, it'd be like when they said they're going to take your stick and your rock from you, when you're outside, or the can, kick the can. They say you can't kick the can no more, right? When you're a kid, or for me it was like a basketball hoop, but they would have said you can't play basketball no more, until you got straight A's, right? So whatever it is for you, this is what I did with my son, So sure enough, I only did it because I know he can actually hit it, right? So we come out, he's boom, straight A's, right? We're into the very last day yesterday, and mind you, this has been since the start of Thanksgiving, or around that time or whatever. I can't remember how these trimesters are working, but for those of you kids, you probably know better than me. My wife takes care of all that, right? But all I do is I put these little weird psychological things out there to make him do this kind of stuff, right? So he's got straight A's. It's the very last day yesterday. Now he's had the flu all week. Right? But he's gone to school all week and made everybody else sick. It's great. So, yesterday, he has to leave. He has a headache so bad, he has to leave at third period. Right? I guess he calls my wife goes, picks him up. Well, guess what? There was an assignment that was due in seventh period that he had done. But since he left at third period, he never turned the assignment in. Right? Guess what happened to his A for seventh period?
Went to a B.
Okay, mind you, this is the last day, and I've already made the rule, that you're not going to do your very best favorite thing in the entire existence of all times. You're not going to do that unless you have straight A's. Now, what happens at, say 4 o'clock? What happens how do you get a hold of these darn teachers at 4 o'clock on a Friday going into Christmas break? Tell me how you do it.
Email.
Right? Email.
You walk into the dealer.
Well, what I did, I started texting Heather. Her husband works at the school, right? So her husband works at the school, and I says, I need to get a hold of this one teacher. Well, nobody can get a hold of this teacher. So then, of course, I email the teacher. Now, my wife, in the meantime, emails in the assignment to the teacher and says, this is done. Here's what happened. He was sick, blah, 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 right? It's 8 p.m. last night, and I guess he's going nuts. But the cool thing is she said that he wasn't upset that he couldn't play Fortnite. What do you think he was upset about? He didn't have the straight A's. Yeah. He didn't want to let me down. He knows that I don't really care about Fortnite, right? All I care about is finding a way to make him get straight A's, And he felt like he was letting himself down, first of all, which is really important. Then he also felt like he was letting me down. you know. And so my wife says, we've done everything. I can't do anything else, you know, because I don't know if they check their school emails and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I don't. She calls me and she's like, what? I'm like, there's nothing I can do to make you feel better about it. I'm not going to break my rule, right? Maybe I shouldn't have set the rule, right? But now that I've set the rule, I'm not going to go back on it. So I'm like, she says, well, there's nothing else that can be done. And in my mind, you know what I'm thinking? You can never say that, right? There's always something more that you can do, right? And I'm thinking, this is going to be a great lesson for my son. So now I'm really motivated. So I track the guy down on Facebook. Right? And I start messaging him. Right? Well, I notice he hasn't used Facebook since sometime like 2016 or 2017. So crickets, you know, there ain't no Facebook guy. Right? I mean, there is, but there isn't. So no response back. So not only do I email him, of course, I'm like, okay, somebody's got to know how to get a hold of this guy. So I go to the website for the school, right? And I email the principal, the vice principal, all of Carter's teachers, and then some, right? And I say, I'm trying to get a hold of this guy. Here's what happened. You know, I'm not going to break my rule. Please don't put me in this position. I really need some help. If somebody can let this guy know that I'm trying to get a hold of him. My son has done the assignment. In fact, it's been emailed to him. All I need, you know, is for him to update the system, because nowadays they got an app right here where I can go on and I can see his grades at all times. You know, I says, yeah, parent view. Yeah, I says, I need him to go in, do the assignment, or look at the assignment, update parent view, so I can move on with my life, you know, and everything's grand and glorious. Okay, so do you think that there's any response? No, there's no response. It's Christmas break, for crying out loud. You can't blame them. Well, I'm literally packing up last night. Cut a really long story long. I'm packing up last night.
Long.
Right? It's past 9, and what do I get? An email from the teacher. Man, I got it. You're a lunatic. I updated it. He's good to go. Straight A's, right? So, amazing. I'm just like blown away. I get home and he's sleeping, you know. Whenever my son, whenever it's like bad news in the world, that's his go-to, is he's taking a nap, you know. And she said he had been, because I started texting, you know, I texted my wife and I texted him the screenshot of the email that I had sent, because now I want him to know there is no giving up in this world, right? There is no giving up. When you want something, you find a way to get it done. And for those, another time I'll tell you the story of how I got an actual license to have a car dealership, right? But there's no giving up. And I wanted him to know, like if nothing else, right, what this really means to him in his mind, these straight A's, you know? And so, of course, when I get home, I wake him up. You know, I have to. So I wake him up, I make him read the emails, I make him read the texts, you know, to show him what it's going to take in life to get out of it what you want to get out of it, you know. And my wife is like, these people in the community think you are the biggest psychopath they have ever met. And she's like, but that is why I love you. You know? You would not let this go, you know. And I says, no, of course. I mean, this right here, these moments that we have been given to us, we can sometimes find the simplest thing with a customer, right? That is, like they talk about when we went to the Ritz-Carlton training, right? Those wow moments. It doesn't take much. It's free, in fact. The wow moments don't cost any money, the best ones. They're moments that we create that are free, that are changing people's lives, you know, and changing their mindset. And if nothing else, that is what our mindset has to be, especially with the fact of what we do for a living, to put food on our tables and to provide these Christmases. It ain't easy.